Hi there, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I'm back again. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment. And if you don't like the video, hit the dislike button and make sure you leave me a comment so I know what I've done wrong. So, today's deck is another one that's come onto Magic Online, courtesy of those fine folks at Daybreak Games for getting there. I'm not sponsored by them before anyone says anything. There's been a couple of comments I've had about, oh, you sponsored by them. No, I'm not. I'm just really pleased for them because they've actually started getting some of the Commander cards we've been waiting for on MTGO. But today's one's another one, and it's an Angel Ally, and you already know what it is because you're here. So it's Kasla, the Broken Halo, 3 blue, red and white for a 5/4 legendary creature Angel Ally, which is nice. Has Convoke, better, makes it cheaper to cast. Flying, Vigilance and Haste, yep, like that plan. And whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke, scry 2, then draw a card. Okay, happy with this. This is good so far. The problem is there aren't that many spells on MTGO. So this deck, well, there are spells on MTGO, sorry. There's not that many spells on MTGO with Convoke at the moment. I'm hoping we're going to see more. I haven't seen many yet, but I'm hoping we're going to see more. So this is very much focused on MTGO. This is probably not how the deck would play in real life. If you've got a paper-based version, they've probably got better Convoke cards, I would guess, but not everything's here yet. So I've gone with what I've got, and I'm really enjoying it. And this is what the deck looks like today. As usual, quickly run through the mana base. Blue, red and white lands everywhere. Just Fabled Passage, no Field of the Dead this time. Decided against it, though there is an argument to have it in here, but no. One couple of cards I do want to point out. I have got the Ragoon Triome in here, which is not cheap at the moment, but Mystic Monastery is exactly the same thing without cycling, and it's cheaper. So, you know, if you haven't picked up the set of lands from Khans of Tarkir, it's probably worth going and have a look at these and make things a little bit cheaper. Sezon Crucible of Defiance is also in for this one. Again, it gives you colourless creatures, but it does give you creatures. And Kerr Keep is quite important in this deck, believe it or not, because the little 0/1 cobbles it produces are red, which help with Convoke costs. So, just bearing that land base in mind for now. The rest of the ramp is the usual, you know, Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, and one of each of the talismans to match the colours. That's it. That's all I've gone with, because what we want to be doing is casting a lot of token spells and then using them to convoke some of our other spells into play. And, you know, hopefully the chances are you're probably going to win the game with the tokens with this, I'll be honest with you. So, how are we doing it? Well, we've got Legion's Landing, which gives us the 37th land, because I'm only playing 36 at the moment. So hopefully we can get this transformed very quickly. Recruit the Worthy is a nice little 4 mana 1/1 token creature producing spell, because I'm counting it as a 4 mana one because of the buyback. If you've got to cast it early just for the 1 white, fine, but you know, if you want to try and hold on to it and do the buyback if you can. Crowd's Favour's the first convoke spell. We like having little convoke spells, you know, and +1 and first strike until the end of turn, but you know, it triggers Kalisha over here. Amulet of Vigor, I've decided, is quite important in this deck. It's unusual, I know, but we want everything to come into play untapped, including some of our lands and some of the other things we've got coming up. So, you know, I think there's an upside to having this in the deck. Elixir of Immortality's here, as usual. Just, well, not as usual, I haven't played it for a while now. But, yeah, shuffle everything back in when it goes pear-shaped. Aerial Boost is the next convoke spell, which can help bounce some of our big creatures into the air to get those wins in. Ethereal Shields for M15, another convoke spell which gives us an indestructible creature. The first of the token producers is Raise the Alarm, and that's why it's here. Now, Chief Engineer is a little bit weird. We haven't got that many artifact spells in here, but we've got a few, and if we can have them have convoke, it might be easier to play them. But there's one very big one coming up, as you can see at the top end of the screen at the moment. Dragon Fodder gives us small tokens. Goblin Bombardment gives us white sacrifice tokens if we need to win that way. And Impact Tremors. It's one of probably the best cards you can get in this deck because of the amount of tokens we're playing, due to them just when the tokens come into play, they ping everyone for 1. Yeah, so that's definitely staying in. And then Krenko's Command, you know, the other version of Dragon Fodder. They give you both Goblin tokens, and you want the red ones because it's the red where we're going to be convoking mainly. Cut Short, Another convoke spell, just to blow something up if we need to. It's a little bit of removal here. Martyr's Soul. It's a battlefield. If you control no tap lands, put 2+1/+1 counters on it. So basically, you want to use your Razor Alarm tokens and your Dragonfogger tokens to cast this guy, because then he comes in as a 5/4 beat stick, and it is quite interesting for 3 mana. Master's Core gives us some instant speed mere artifact creature tokens. Midnight Haunting gives us some white spirits in the air, so they help with convoking, as well as Devouring Light. Exile target attacking or blocking creature. We like the convoke side of this entirely. Invasion Segovia is in again. This gives us 2 little blue creatures, which is nice. They do help with the convoke. But all then, if we can get it flipped, all of our non-creature spells we cast have convoke, which in this deck is really, really helpful. So bear that in mind. Thatcher's Revolt, just for some instant attackers. If we need 3, we might need 3 attackers to punch through for those last bit of damage. Notice these ones get exiled at the end of turn. We have to sacrifice them, so hopefully you've got Goblin Bombardment out to do some damage as they disappear. A pair of goblins, yep. Or creatures you control get +2/+0 until the end of turn. Again, another way of punching through with all the tokens we're creating. Hordling Burst, yep. 3 red goblin tokens, lovely. Yes, this deck has got Anointed Procession in, and it's got Moondrak in. I want to build as many tokens as we can with this deck, hence why they're both in this one. Blaring Recruiter, we obviously can't play the partner side, but 3 mana to create a 1/1 can help. It's a little bit expensive, it's 4 mana for a 2/2, but if you've got some spare mana floating around at the end of turn, or you need an instant blocker, it's there. Conclave Tribunal, just to remove anything that's annoying us. And Mariel, Shield of Argav. Yes, they're colourless soldiers, but it does produce them, and that means we've got more options to use them to convoke. So, yeah. Battle Screech does the whole let's tap 3 untap white creatures we control to flash it back. So that's nice. Clever Concealment gives us ability to save our board. We can phase out everything if we need to, apart from the lands when we get there. Meeting of Minds is just a nice way of drawing cards we convoke, as is Sephir Singer. If we can convoke this out and put some flying counters on our big guys where we need them, it gives us some more beatdown in the air. Stoke the Flames, I expect you're expecting to see for more removal. And Midnight Pathlighter. Creatures you control can't be blocked except by legendary creatures. Yep, like that. But whenever 1 or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, venture into a dungeon. Yeah, okay then. Let's do a bit of venturing. So we got goblins out of some of the dungeons, if I remember correctly. But it's just the creatures you control can't be blocked I went for. That seemed quite good. Heroic Reinforcements gives all our team haste and pumps them a little bit for a turn. Conclave Phalanx gains us some life, especially if we can convoke it out. And Knight Errant of Eos is very nice. We get to do the whole look at the top 6 cards, get 2 creatures, and do it that way. Venerated Lockstorm makes all the creatures we've made to convoke it bigger. Mediation Puzzle just gains us some life. No other reason for having it in here apart from it, obviously triggers Khaleesi. And Joyful Storm Sculptor, one of the good cards that are coming through in Battle, March of the Machine, because it gives us a couple of tokens when it comes into play, and when we cast the spells we convokes, we get to deal damage to people. So that's cool. Akim, the Soaring Wind, we might as well have it in. We need to give our creatures double strike, but whenever we create the tokens, we get some birds as well, so that's really cool. Triplicate Spirits is just another white spirit creating spell. Shark Typhoon makes us some big shark things to attack in the sky with when we cast all the non-creature spells, and we're playing 18 creatures, 45 other spells, so we should be getting a lot of sharks from this, which is really cool. And they're blue, so they help with some of the convoke costs. Shatter the Source, just to blow up an artifact, is going to cost you 1 mana most of the time with this deck, especially if you do it at the end of someone's turn. And Broodiclad, Telecore Engineer. I thought this was a cunning plan to have this come in because it does give all our creatures haste, which is nice. And we can turn all of our tokens into something bigger. And we do have some bigger things coming up, so bear in mind. Willforged Golem, just because it's a creature that's got Convoke, and it doesn't really matter what you're convoking it with. And this is one of the reasons we are playing Amulet of Vigor in this deck. We want to tap as many of our creatures as we can to get the 4/4 Angels. Now, as long as we've got Elixir, not Elixir of Immortality, sorry, Amulet of Vigor in play, the angels we then create, because it's sort of like semi-convoke, come into play untapped. And that is a major boom with this deck. We need them untapped because, you know, we've got no real way of gaining life, and we've got to get there. And it's going to be a creature beatdown at the end of the day. Seraph of the Masses is really nice. You get to convoke it, and its power and toughness equals the number of creatures we control. And Hour of Reckoning. Destroy all non-token creatures. It's a fantastic board wipe in this deck with the amount of tokens we're producing and using with our lovely commander over here, Kasla. That means we can blow the board up, wipe all their stuff out, and then maybe convoke Kasla back into play if they've been killed or some other thing. It seemed like a really cunning plan to me. Shivering Branch Burner, just because it's got convoke, and as I've said in many videos now, I really enjoy playing dragons where I can, and this one seemed like a no-brainer in here. Going a little bit further up, Chant of Vitu-Ghazi is expensive, but it does prevent all the damage and keep you alive, and you gain all the life from the damage that was prevented this way. Interdisciplinary Mascot. Yeah, Ward 3, that's cool. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put one in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, but it's got a convoke. Hopefully we'll be able to get this down also like turn 3, turn 4 with a bit of luck, so that'd be quite a nice beat stick. City on Fire is key. You do want this getting into play as soon as you can. It is fantastic. It is a lot to cast normally, but if we can convoke it into play, the happier we are going to be. And Cityscape Leveler is the main reason we have the little Chief Engineer in the deck. I haven't had a chance to play it. I've picked one up. And when you cast this spell and whenever it attacks, destroy up to one target non-land permanent, and they get Power Stone. Not many people have got uses for Power Stones at the moment, so hey hum. But yeah, it seemed pretty good, and I thought, let's get it in this deck for one-off. Lastly, a couple of token producers. Secure the Waste, fantastic. End the turn before your turn, make sure you cast this at the end in their end step to get all those warriors ready to go for convoking next turn. And Marshall Coop gives us another way of getting everything else into play. Yes, it blows the board up, but hopefully we can get it up to like X's 6, 7, 8. We can blow all the other creatures up and still have our 6, 7 or 8 soldier tokens, which seem to me like a cunning plan. And the final spell, Transcendent Message. Yeah, it's getting slated a lot. It's never going to really see playing standard, but I think this is one that was really made for Commander. That's why it's in this deck today. 4 blue is a bit tough, but we've got ways of making some little blue guys so we can help with the convoke side of it, and then just convoke it away to draw as many cards as we can. So that's what we're doing today, and that's it. That's my take on Kasla, the Broken Halo. I hope you've enjoyed the video today. Like I say, I hope you've hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment, tell me what you'd play if it was in real life with more convoke spells available. And yeah, if you don't like the video, let me know that as well so I can try and change what I'm doing so you come back and watch another one. But that's it for now, so thanks for watching and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.